everyone.
Hi.
I am here with my friend Amy Epoddle. We are on the LuLaRoe cruise, and we just wanted to go live in our team groups today, and we are going to talk about the evil comparison trap.
So bad.
Not fun.
Nope.
So I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so maybe some of you may not know that Monica and I have a friendship. We talk like pretty a lot actually. Marco Polo. And part of it is because Monica and I have very similar or parallel businesses that we have found, mainly because YouTube, obviously.
Yes.
So I think that is something we really should, we kind of wanted to like get in here and talk about what that means and why, what that in some cases could be a comparison trap, and like, you know, what do you do with kind of somebody that you're like very parallel with, and how do you use that to your advantage
it's really
instead of a
easy.
negative thing.
Yes, because we could have easily, you know, viewed one another as competition, but instead we have a friendship and we talk almost every day about, we bounce ideas off of one another, and so it's really great to have that person. So we kind of wanted to jump on and relate our experience, because we know that a lot of you guys probably struggle with the same sort of thing, and how we've like our thought process to get there, and yeah.
Yeah, and at the beginning, everybody's on fire and everybody's businesses are, you know, it's all exciting and you're just got this like fire and drive. And as problems arise, it's easy to say, well, it's how come these people are doing better or are able to do it when I'm putting in the same effort, or I'm posting on Instagram the same amount of times that she is, how come mine's not doing as well? Or, you know, and also it's the unknown. I think some of it's the unknown, is that everybody has struggles. We're all struggling in different ways, and we've been able to come together and be able to discuss those struggles because we can give each other different perspectives on similar situations. Like there's a lot of things that I've done that that Monica has been able to help me through, and I think vice versa.
Yeah.
So, you know, what does a comparison trap, you know, how does that take hold on you? Because there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I really love what she's doing, or I really love this one, you know, X, Y, and Z of her business, and I really would love to, you know, utilize that kind of, I guess competition's the wrong word, but like using it to your favor and saying, I'm very, that motivates me versus it brings me down.
Yeah, because you can be motivated, like Amy was saying, if she sees someone that is doing something that she admires, like that's a motivation. But as a like super blue through and through, I know a lot of my team is super blue. Sometimes it can feel discouraging when we're just constantly down about like, oh my gosh, why don't my YouTube videos look like that, or why, you know? And I think it's really important to have a running partner that is your opposites, that you can bounce ideas off of one another, because you have thoughts and ideas to like help lift each other's strengths. But in our case, it's really nice to have someone who's in a similar position, but at the same time, even though
personalities are very helpful to complementary in the sense of like you bring a different perspective than I have,
even though it's like the same or similar, we're still very different. And so it's not like things that may appear similar on the surface, like you even said, like you had a lot going on personally, and so it's also like we've learned that just by talking to one another, like more about each other, and how it's not always like what everyone on social media, especially with our business, it's all about social media, and there's always more to the surface. So just, I guess, not judging someone's journey from the outside.
Exactly. And so it's interesting to see where, especially through YouTube, and how much we were sharing on YouTube, to see how our business, kind of always comparing our businesses, but we did it quite differently. We did things very differently, and we've had different different perspectives, and different things that are our strong suits that are not. And she puts a mean outfit together, for sure. I think also part of it is that fear of the unknown, or the idea of what you make, the story you make in your brain about it. Because Monica and I had businesses, you know, that where we weren't really in touch for quite a while, right? So, and not necessarily that we on purpose, or I had a lot of stuff personally happening, and so we were just not ready for a kind of that running partner relationship yet, I would say, because we were trying to get our bearings down. But once we did kind of get in touch, I feel like it was like, wow, this is such a great thing. So Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that even make sense?
And Amy says a lot too that she for the first 6-7 months she couldn't do anything but stay in her own lane. She had to just focus on her business and focus on the personal stuff going on. And a lot of you guys are still really new, so if we had any advice to you, it would be whether, even though it is good to have friendships and people that you are communicating with, it can also be a time suck if you're not spending good quality time on your business as well. So now having the relationship now, it makes sense, I think, but if we were to talk every day in the beginning, I think it would have been a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Because we had to, if you're talking and you're bouncing ideas off of too many people in the beginning, it can become overwhelming, and you can question a lot what your decisions that you're making for your business based on everyone else's input. So I think you have to have confidence in your business to start off with, and so that way when you do make connections, you are confident in what you're doing, everything that you've done.
And confidence in your decisions of how you're doing your business. We've taken different routes, but still both of, everybody, there's room for everybody to be successful. I think part of it, and I think a lot of our team would agree that a lot of our team kind of had this all in it together mentality because they started at the same time. So, but that is very easy to get into the comparison trap with that. And maybe you guys feel the same way, because then you're watching each other's businesses but you have to know that everybody is doing things differently and there's room for success everywhere. That even though we have these parallel businesses, we've gotten there very different ways. I mean, I think from the outside, you guys would probably think both on YouTube, but still we've done our businesses very differently, and it's still been parallel.
Yeah, and we were even talking about how, because again, you could look and say, oh, they're both doing YouTube videos, they're so similar, but we were talking about how we even attract different types of people based on just our personality that comes off.
The blue and the gold.
Do you have any words of wisdom when a lot of
I think just talking about my balance is one of the biggest. I think, am I finishing your sentence?
Oh no, it's okay.
I knew where you were going with it. I think that balance is one of the hardest things that stems the comparison trap, because we all have things happening, right? But people, how do you fit in a full-time job with your 3 kids plus a husband who travels and you're cruise qualifying? Those are, that type of balance is going to be different for anybody, and it cannot be taught because everybody's situation is different. I mean, we can give you tips all the time, but the idea behind the balance is trying to figure out, you can't compare, which is why the comparison trap is an issue, is that you can't compare somebody who has a full-time help and is home all day to your how much you can do, your goals. You can't compare your goals and the successes of your goals or meeting your goal. You have to take all of that into consideration when you're sitting there comparing to somebody, because I know I'm hey, she's cruise qualifying with a newborn. But it just is, everybody's situation is completely different.
Amy has one LuLaRoe that is this big.
Oh my gosh.
This big.
So bad.
My house is overrun with clothing, and that's the decision that Josh and I made. But we have two LuLaRoes, so it's all
going to be different because of that. Yeah. You cannot compare them because, and personally, and all of those things go into it. Right. So, part of that comparison trap is really figuring out why you feel that way about somebody else's business, right? Because oftentimes it's because hey, I'm not doing this, and that.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, usually other people's highlights tend to bring up emotions about our what we feel insecure about.
A personal reflection.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
It's hard with so many women that we really want to make sure that we're living this culture of supporting one another and really realizing that there is so much room for success in this business.
And as well, we're pretty new to this business, and 9 months in, and a lot of people back then were wondering if there was success in. It's definitely possible. A challenge to you would be to the next time you find yourself in the comparison trap is just to think about what you can learn from that person, and really challenge yourself to consider that you were just looking at their highlight reel, and that there's room for sisterhood.
So stemming from that challenge, I would say next time you feel the comparison trap, reach out to that person and give them a compliment.
Oh, I like that.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Right? And so you obviously are comparing yourself to them because you admire something about them. Okay? So if you can reach out
I like your hair.
Oh. Actually, like,
I was giving you a compliment.
Thank you. But if you reach out to that person and you say, hey, I really like the way you did that Instagram post, like, I just wanted to tell you, not only is it going to make them feel good, you're going to feel good, and a friendship might come out of it.
Yes.
So, because you can't create it in your head, right? Like, you can only, so reach out to that person, and then also maybe say, hey, I'm going to use that, like, that compliment that I gave to boost myself and to boost, help me do something better, you know?
Yeah. That's a
Cool?
good one. That's a good thing. That's a good one to end on.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
like
good.
it. And thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.